Picture a cold Roman morning in 218 BC. The sun barely peeks over the horizon, casting a pale light across the frost-covered fields and the ancient stones of the city. The air is thick with anticipation, and every breath seems to hang in the silence of a world about to change. Suddenly, a messenger bursts in, breathless, his cloak flapping behind him, with news that chills your blood and sends a shiver through the heart of Rome. An enemy army has crossed the Alps, an impossible feat, one that no one believed could ever happen. The mountains covered in snow and ice were thought to be nature's ultimate defense. But this is not just any army. These are the Carthaginians, led by the legendary and feared Hannibal Barca, a commander whose name already inspires dread, and with them, monstrous war elephants, towering beasts armored for battle, creatures no Roman has ever seen before, their trumpeting echoing through the mountain passes. The Alps were supposed to be an impenetrable barrier, a divine shield for Italy, a natural wall that would keep invaders at bay for all eternity. Now, that shield is shattered. Panic spreads through Rome like wildfire. People gather in the streets, whispering rumors and fearing the worst. Carthage was supposed to rule the seas, not invade by land. Their ships were legendary, but no one expected them to march across mountains. This is more than war, it's a psychological earthquake. The very foundations of Roman confidence are shaken, and fear seeps into every home. The enemy is no longer distant. They're marching on Roman soil, their banners visible on the horizon, their presence undeniable. Every Roman, from senator to farmer, feels the threat. Their homes, their families, and the Republic itself are at stake. No one is untouched by the looming danger. Hannibal's audacity sets the stage for a conflict that will push Rome to the very brink of destruction, testing the courage and resolve of an entire civilization. The Second Punic War has begun, a struggle that will decide not just the fate of Rome, but the destiny of the ancient world itself. Rome and Carthage, two superpowers, locked in a battle of survival and supremacy, each determined to shape history in their own image. The elephants are just the beginning. Their thunderous arrival signals a new kind of warfare, one that will test the limits of Roman ingenuity and endurance. The world as Rome knows it is about to change forever. Old certainties are crumbling, and a new era of conflict and heroism is dawning. The greatest test in Roman history has arrived. The fate of an empire, and perhaps the world, hangs in the balance. Before Hannibal, the Mediterranean was a stage for two rising powers, Rome and Carthage. Rome, a disciplined land power, expanded relentlessly across Italy, turning enemies into allies. Carthage, a wealthy maritime empire, thrived on trade, its harbors bustling with ships from every corner of the sea. Where Rome was agrarian and militaristic, Carthage was cosmopolitan and commercial. For a time they coexisted, each respecting the other's domain, but the Mediterranean wasn't big enough for both. Sicily, a rich island between them, became the flashpoint. Both saw it as vital, Rome for security, Carthage for trade. Their interests collided, and mistrust grew. Treaties gave way to suspicion. The underlying tension was about to erupt. Two worlds, one sea, destined for conflict. The stage was set for the first great clash. The balance of power was about to shift. The First Punic War exploded over Sicily in 264 BC. Rome's legions quickly gained ground, but Carthage's navy kept the fight alive. Rome, a land power, faced a dilemma: how to defeat a sea power. Their answer: build a fleet from scratch, copying a captured Carthaginian warship. In months, Rome launched over 100 ships, but lacked naval experience. Their solution: the Corvus, a boarding bridge that turned sea battles into land battles. With it, Roman soldiers stormed enemy decks, winning stunning victories. After 23 years of brutal war, Rome emerged victorious. Carthage lost Sicily and paid a heavy price. But the peace was uneasy. Carthage was humiliated, resentment simmered. The rivalry was far from over. The First Punic War set the stage for a second, even more devastating conflict. A new generation would seek revenge. The struggle for supremacy was just beginning. In the aftermath of defeat, Hannibal Barca took his young son Hannibal to a temple. There, Hannibal swore a sacred oath: eternal enmity toward Rome. This vow became his life's mission. Hannibal grew into a brilliant, ruthless commander, learning war in Spain. He knew Rome's strength was its allies and manpower. To win, he had to break Rome's will, not just its armies. His plan: strike at the heart of Italy, not wait for Rome to attack. A naval invasion was impossible, so he chose the unthinkable: crossing the Alps. Driven by his oath, Hannibal set out to shake the foundations of Rome. This was not just war, it was personal. The boy's promise would ignite the ancient world. In 218 BC, Hannibal assembled a diverse army in Spain: infantry, cavalry, and 37 war elephants. He crossed the Pyrenees, then marched through hostile Gaul, outmaneuvering Roman forces. His true target: the Alps. As autumn fell, his army faced snow, treacherous paths, and mountain tribes. Many men and elephants perished in the brutal crossing. After 15 days, Hannibal emerged in Italy with a battered, exhausted force. He'd lost nearly half his men and most elephants. By all logic, his campaign should have ended there, but he had achieved total surprise. The Romans were stunned. The most dangerous enemy Rome had ever faced was now in their backyard. Hannibal's impossible march was complete. The real war was about to begin. Hannibal wasted no time. Driven by a burning desire to bring Rome to its knees, he moved with relentless speed and cunning, always staying one step ahead of his enemies. He crushed Roman armies at Ticinus and Trebia, winning over Gallic tribes who saw him as a liberator from Roman rule. His reputation grew with every victory, and his army swelled with new allies. In 217 BC, he lured the Romans into a deadly trap at Lake Trasimene. An entire army was wiped out in a single brutal morning. Panic gripped Rome as news of the disaster spread, and fear took hold of the city. Fabius Maximus became dictator, adopting a strategy of delay and harassment, refusing to meet Hannibal in open battle. He hoped to wear the invader down through attrition. Romans hated this caution, craving a decisive victory. The people grew restless, demanding action and glory, not patience and retreat. In 216 BC, Rome raised its largest army ever, 80,000 strong, and marched out to meet Hannibal at Cannae, determined to end the threat once and for all. Hannibal's tactics were flawless. He encircled and annihilated the Roman force, trapping them in a deadly vice. The battlefield became a slaughterhouse. 50,000 Romans died in a single day, their bodies covering the plain. It was one of the worst defeats in Roman history. Allies in southern Italy defected. The Republic teetered on collapse. Rome's enemies sensed weakness and began to abandon her cause. Hannibal was master of Italy, the ghost at Rome's gates, haunting the dreams of every Roman citizen. Yet he did not attack the city. He lacked the men and siege equipment to breach Rome's mighty walls, and his army was weary from years of campaigning. He had won battles, but not the war. The ultimate prize, Rome itself, remained just out of reach. Rome's spirit was wounded, but not broken. The city braced itself, determined to fight on no matter the cost. The struggle for survival would only intensify. Both sides prepared for the next chapter in this epic conflict. Hannibal's shadow loomed over Rome, a constant reminder of the danger lurking just beyond the city's walls. The fate of the Republic hung in the balance, as Rome faced its darkest hour, and the world watched to see if she would endure. After Cannae, any other state would have surrendered. Rome did not. The Senate refused peace, mobilized every resource, and rebuilt its armies. Boys, slaves, and citizens alike were armed for the Republic's survival. While Hannibal roamed Italy, Rome slowly reclaimed lost cities, avoiding direct battle. A new leader emerged, Publius Cornelius Scipio. Driven by vengeance and vision, Scipio took the fight to Spain, capturing New Carthage and cutting Hannibal's supply lines. Then, he proposed a bold move: invade Africa itself. In 204 BC, Scipio landed in Africa, winning victory after victory. Carthage, desperate, recalled Hannibal from Italy. After 15 years, Hannibal was forced to defend his homeland. The final confrontation was set. Rome had turned the tide. The endgame was near. In 202 BC, on the dusty plains near Carthage, two legendary commanders, Hannibal of Carthage and Scipio Africanus of Rome, faced each other at Zama, in a battle that would decide the fate of empires. Hannibal's war elephants thundered forward, a terrifying force meant to break Roman lines. But Scipio, anticipating this, cleverly opened his ranks, allowing the elephants to pass harmlessly through, neutralizing their threat. The clash turned into a savage struggle between infantry. As the fighting raged, Scipio's cavalry, having circled the battlefield, struck Hannibal's forces from behind, trapping them in a deadly pincer. Carthage's army was crushed, and Hannibal, once invincible, barely managed to escape with his life. His dreams of a victory shattered. Rome imposed a punishing peace. Carthage, stripped of its power and forced to pay tribute, was finished as a great power. Yet even in victory, Rome's fear of its old rival never truly faded. Decades later, the Roman senator Cato the Elder ended every speech with a chilling demand: Carthage must be destroyed. In 149 BC, Rome returned, determined to erase Carthage from history once and for all. After a merciless siege, Carthage was utterly destroyed. Its people were enslaved, its buildings leveled, and its fields salted so nothing would grow. A city quite literally turned to dust. With Carthage gone, Rome became the undisputed master of the Mediterranean, its empire stretching across continents and seas, shaping the ancient world. Yet this victory came at a terrible moral cost. The annihilation of Carthage stands as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked power and vengeance. Was Rome's destruction of Carthage truly about security, or did fear and hatred drive them to vengeance? The Punic Wars forever changed the world, but they left behind a haunting question that echoes through history. In destroying its greatest rival, did Rome secure its future, or did it lose a vital part of its own soul in the process? The silent ashes of Carthage remain, a somber reminder of the true price of empire and the cost of absolute victory.